when it comes to becoming a pro athlete, you have to go through multiple stages. One, you gotta start in high school, get scouted, and that's when you come to the stage of college. Unless you're a baseball player, because then you can technically go from high school and go straight to the draft and make it to the MLB. But it takes the average college athlete, depending on their sport, 1 to 3 years before they can go pro, and that's if they were good enough to go pro. And now you're thinking, oh, 1 to 3 years, that's not too bad. But that's 1 to 3 years without ever being able to make money because they're not allowed to work. So the only thing student athletes can rely on for money is through their parents, which you're supposed to be trying to become an adult when you come to college. So relying on your parents all the time is not good. Like, the average athlete in college spends 35 hours just practicing for their sport. That's not including how much they have to study for school and their tests and exams. And then I was thinking, one way that they could earn money would be making maybe a minimum wage payment for per hour that they are on, like the practice field. So they're not going to get money just for walking into the weight room, but like, say they're at the field for practice, they're there for 3 hours, they only make money for that. But other people say they are technically getting paid through their scholarships. But I don't believe in that, because those scholarships, the university gets all that money back within a season of any sport, especially football. They make all that money back. Like in big schools like Alabama, Ohio State, those schools pay for all of their scholarships through just their football program. And so I was reading an article on bestcollege.com, and on the article, it was saying that D1 and D2 schools should be paying their athletes because of how they earn their money through sports. It is all based on their players and how they succeed, unless it's like a huge Big Ten school. It's probably about the only way it doesn't actually matter as much. But if you don't have players on the field, you're not putting in any money into the bank account. So, and the money being made from the games and concessions and ticket sales are going to help pay for the staff and the coaches and the facility upgrades leading in to the next season and stuff. Like, yeah, the students get care packages, like they'll get free shoes and stuff like that, but that's normally just for sport when they get those kind of things. And then another way a student gets taken kind of advantage of is the way that they can bring a crowd to a school. Like, for instance, Doug Flutie in 1984 was a quarterback for Boston College, wasn't a popular team. And that year, he had a Hail Mary pass against Miami, Florida, which won them that game, which Miami was a huge, big team. And he also happened to win the Heisman Trophy that year, which with him winning that Heisman Trophy rose the applications at Boston College up 30% for 2 years straight. And then, so like another way that they should be paid is through commission. And by commission, I mean through the way that the universities sell jerseys and that kind of stuff, like with the players' recognition on it. And that's how by the way I mean by they should be paid through is they should get a percentage based on their jersey, which this would only factor in towards your all-stars. Like in Ohio State, you got Justin Fields, or like back in the day, Joey Bosa. Those would be the people getting paid commission because they're they put in the work to be those 5-star athletes that are the name of their school. Let's see. The last way I think they should be able to make money would be through tickets, because they're the ones selling the tickets. The coaches aren't selling tickets. The players are selling tickets. And so, I did an example of this. At Ohio State University, the university made $61.4 million off just ticket sales through 7 home games. That's not including what they get partially from other schools for away games. That's just their 7 home games. So the way I thought about this is this: you take 0.5% of that $61.4 million, which would give you $307,000. Now, I'm not saying that's per person. Now you're going to take that portion of the money, and the average football team has 60 to 70 players. So say you got a 60-man roster. You take that number, divide that by 60, and that number, which is $5,116, would go to each player on the team, which is them still making less money than the average college full-time student that works a part-time job. Because according to theclassroom.com, the average full-time student working part-time is making anywhere from $7,500 to $42,000. That's a whole lot. And so this is why I think college athletes should be paid for how much they actually contribute towards their schools.
Not fucking